I get asked a lot lately, how will AI change the job market? And it's a fair question because what's happening now is not a simple story of automation and layoffs. It's a structural shift in how decisions are made, how value is created, and how humans fit into that process. The short version is that AI is moving decision power from people into systems. And when decision power moves, everything else changes, like cost structures, accountability, hiring, even what we call expertise. So let's unpack this. What's actually happening in 2025, what it means for both companies and workers, and how to prepare without getting caught in the noise. The reality is that right now, AI is being used mainly for automation, automating repetitive tasks that used to need people. That makes sense. It cuts cost, it speeds up work, and it reduces human error. But the catch is automation alone does not create growth. It saves money, but it doesn't necessarily build new value. The companies doing this well are using AI not to replace people, but to multiply their output, to take the same team and make it 10 times faster or more precise. Compared to this time last year, job postings in Europe are down by about 7%. Most companies are cautious. They're pausing entry-level hiring, waiting to see how AI performs. But many of the layoffs we are seeing this year are not directly caused by AI. They are caused by economic slowdown and the wait-and-see attitude. The real challenge is not job loss, it's the redefinition of what a job is worth. AI can produce analysis, reports, even creative work that looks credible. But when the system makes a mistake, it's not predictable like human error. It can be confidently wrong in ways no human would be. That unpredictability erodes trust in hiring, in education, in the economy itself. AI changes the value chain of work. It eats repetition and rewards judgment. Take consulting. AI can draft strategies and analyze markets and summarize data in seconds. So the value of producing content drops. What becomes valuable, though, is the ability to interpret, prioritize, and explain results, especially when the algorithm's answer doesn't make sense. In healthcare, AI can identify tumors or predict risk with astonishing precision, but that doesn't remove the doctor. It shifts their role. They become validators and deciding when to trust the model and when to override it. That means accountability rises even as autonomy shrinks. In manual jobs, the pattern flips. A technician might use an AI assistant to troubleshoot or optimize repairs, but the physical, contextual, real-world skill stays human. AI gives direction, people execute and adapt. So we're not seeing a replacement of jobs. We're seeing a reshuffling. Routine, repetitive work is shrinking, while interpretation, supervision, and coordination are growing. The entry-level squeeze is real, but entirely new roles are emerging around managing and explaining AI. We've seen this movie before. During the Industrial Revolution, productivity in Britain exploded. Factories, machine, output everywhere, but wages stayed flat for nearly 50 years. The benefits flowed upward to capital owners and not workers. And the same risk exists today. Productivity is rising thanks to AI, but if we don't redesign how we train people and distribute gains, we'll repeat the same inequality loop. High output, low inclusion. New jobs don't appear automatically. They appear when businesses and governments create pathways for people to move into new roles through upskilling, apprenticeships, and fair access to technology. Without that, the gap between those who use AI and those who are used by it widens quickly. There are two ways to use AI: to replace or to amplify. Replacement cuts costs, amplification creates advantage. An AI driven logistics company can predict demand and adjust supply chains in real time, but it still needs people who understand contracts, supplier behavior, and the ripple effects of a wrong forecast. A teacher can use adaptive learning software to personalize lessons, but still needs to understand what motivates students and when to break the pattern. That's augmentation. using AI to enhance human performance and not erase it. It's how productivity gains turn into real economic growth. But those gains don't spread automatically. Without policy, governance, and ethical design, they stay locked in a few large players with access to data, to compute, and to distribution. That's why leaders need to think beyond the short term ROI. AI will either flatten opportunity or widen it, depending on how we build it into our systems. How can you lead through this shift? If you are a business leader, don't adopt AI, integrate intelligence. And that starts with data. If your data is fragmented, outdated, or biased, your AI will reflect that. You can't fix bad data with a smart model. Invest in clean, unified data layers before scaling any system. Start with one measurable workflow: claims processing, credit assessment, risk detection, something small, clear, and high volume. Track the baseline, automate carefully, and monitor outcomes. Build internal capability and not dependency. Use vendors, but make sure your people understand the system well enough to audit it, because accountability doesn't outsource well. And for every person out there, don't change technical trends, build judgment. Use AI every day, but notice where it fails. That's where your long term value lives, in the gaps machines cannot close. Develop cross domain skill, know your craft deeply, and understand how data and algorithms influence it. Learn to interpret, question, and contextualize results. That's what will define professionals who thrive in this era. Every company deploying AI now faces the same test: transparency and traceability. Who made the decision, based on what data, using which model, and with what oversight? If you don't know the answers to these questions, you don't control AI, it controls you. The EU's 2025 AI Act is a good start, but compliance should be treated as design and not paperwork. Ethical architecture is what prevents tomorrow's scandals. AI is not deleting work, it's redefining it. The question is not whether AI will take your job, but whether you learn to work with intelligence that scales faster than you do. If we build systems that replace human judgment, we'll create efficiency without understanding. If we build systems that extend human judgment, we'll create value that compounds. And that's the real future of work. Not man versus machine, but human capability redefined by machine intelligence.